What's up, everyone? It's Jay Ray, the co-host of Q Points, and one really important way that you can support our show is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. One of those places where you can subscribe, and we highly encourage it, is on Apple Podcasts. If you visit qpnt.net/Apple Podcasts. You could subscribe to the show and listen to all of the episodes. And please, please, please leave us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And leave us a review. We really want to hear from you, and it helps to spread the word about the show. It's that simple. Thanks so much for tuning into Q Points, and thank you so much for supporting us. Have a great
Yes, sir. It's that time again. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And yo, my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay the Third. What's happening?
And welcome to another episode of Q Points, a visual podcast in your safe space for meaningful dialogue about the global impact of Black music. And tonight, you want to talk about impact? It's like an asteroid is about to hit.
Yes.
Planet Earth
Absolutely.
in a few minutes, because tonight's episode is super exciting, and to say that we are psyched about it is an understatement, because we are hosting for the first time as a show. We're hosting our very own Q Points versus watch party.
Word.
Because tonight is going down with Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. I mean, wow, J Ray, we couldn't ask for a better reason to come before you guys on a Thursday night. I mean, we already enjoyed the show, but now that we have Chaka and Stephanie as the backdrop for Verzuz, look, who could ask for anything more?
Man, oh man. So listen, man. I think it's hard to describe the magnitude of how excited I am for this Verzuz. And I think Stephanie said it best on her social media, right? Like, tonight is truly a celebration. We use the word legend a lot on this show because of the work that we do. But these ladies is legends. Like, the work that they have put in and the way that they have changed music and how Black women see themselves, how Black music sounds and is regarded internationally. Yeah. Shout out to Chaka and Stephanie.
Absolutely. And I think, well, what's absolutely clear is that audiences of Verzuz absolutely love to see the ladies perform. Mm-hmm. Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle garnered 2.5 million viewers. Brandy and Monica, 4.2 million viewers. And the highest ever Verzuz viewership for the ladies was Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
Get the heck out of here.
Coming in at 6 million viewers. Yes, 6 million viewers. I was like, word? That was more than, SWV and Escape. Yeah. Ashanti and Keisha Cole brought in the numbers. And I think because there was a lot of like assumed drama that was involved.
Right.
So I think that added to it. Yes. Because if the Verzuz is trending, everybody's watching.
Right. And this is one of those nights where I truly think folks are excited. I think so here's the thing. Verzuz does really well when people have positive feelings about the music of the artists that are going up there, right? And actually, when I think about it, so Ashanti and Keisha Cole also garner, yes, there's the drama piece. But also, it was funny because even me, like, I have positive associations. You probably don't know this. I have positive associations with a lot of Keisha Cole songs, which is really interesting. It's a Johnny factoid.
Johnny I would have never guessed.
Listen, but you can see me in the car and, you know,
I changed my mind. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is one of those nights as well where we use the a lot of people use the term auntie, and this is very auntie music. Like, this is your Sunday, you're getting ready, you're turning up to. This is all of that wrapped in one.
You know, the kids nowadays like to use the term cleaning up music. You know, and they like to say, well, you could tell whose parents didn't make them get up on Saturday morning to clean because they don't know about such and such an artist.
Right.
And I'm grateful for this opportunity also because, you know, I just remember Stephanie Mills famously during her interview on The Breakfast Club I think maybe last year or earlier this year, when it was brought up to her, Mama was like, oh, they not finna do it. They said they didn't want us, or you know, to whatever effect. And just like I shared the same sentiment with Charlamagne. Charlamagne was like, "Get out of here! That's crazy. Who would turn down Stephanie Mills and Chaka Khan?" He was like, "I'm gonna get Swiss and Tim on the phone myself because that's absolutely ridiculous."
Right.
And it was right. Now I'm certain there was a number.
You know, there had to be. It had to land.
Number.
Like, so what's happening in this hand?
Yeah. As it should. You know,
they put in the work.
They've earned it. They earned it. I'm not even gonna. We don't even have to go into numbers like who sold what.
No.
Because at this point, it just goes without saying that these women have just been omnipresent. I know that for me, and at least in my life, has been omnipresent since the beginning. Like, I couldn't even tell you. I can't pinpoint the very first time, but I just remember always hearing, "Tell me something good," or "I'm every woman," but I do know that I definitely woke up to who Chaka Khan was when I first heard "I Feel For You."
Oh, for the hip hop generation.
Oh, yeah.
And to know the history of that song, right? So of course, Chaka was like, "You gonna put a what? You gonna put a rapper on my song? What?" Because, you know, back then that was like not a thing that singers wanted. Rap wasn't supposed to last, right? It was supposed to be a fad. But obviously it was a groundbreaking song. So you have Grandmaster Melly Mel doing an amazing verse and a great, you know, showing on "I Feel For You." I can't remember the first time I heard them either. I know that I feel like "What You Gonna Do For My Lovin'" is I probably heard that first. Like, I could probably feel that feels like the song that I've known the longest of the two artists. But that said, once I learned who Chaka Khan was, I have been hearing her my entire life as well. So there's never been a point as well where they haven't been on the radio or on the record player somewhere.
And speaking of Stephanie, "I Never Knew Love Like This," I think was one of those, another omnipresent song, something that was I always heard on Solid Gold, on Soul Train, you know, because that's what I grew up watching on Saturdays, and yeah, always knew who this little woman with the big voice was, and just a very distinctive tone that she had. And yeah, it's just tonight we're in for a treat. So you guys, let's just be transparent here. We were all under the impression that the show was going to start at 8:00. And according to the Verzuz Instagram, they changed pushed it back to 9 p.m.
Right.
So when J Ray put me on, was like, oh yeah, you see that it's been pushed back. I was like, ooh, I wonder what happened.
Right.
You know,
did
like what?
something happen? Did somebody not arrive? What is it? Right.
Did somebody not arrive on time? Did the check not clear? Because
is it not in the hand?
it's not in the purse or whatever. You know,
Right.
it's like, you know, these stories are forever a part of music folklore.
Right.
I think one of the most famous stories, and we've talked about this before, is Tina Marie literally was standing on the side of the stage and was like, and addressed the audience like, hey guys, I'm here, but I'm not coming out there until this promoter get me the rest of my money. You know?
So make sure y'all call the promoter.
I'm here. I've clocked
Band's
in for work,
ready.
but
Everyone's here.
but they haven't come up with the funds. So, and I find like I've heard these stories more so than ever from a lot of women artists.
Absolutely.
You know, Aretha Franklin carried the piece on her, like, you know, in case she had to run down on somebody for her money, and always famously walked on stage with her purse.
Yeah.
Because she needed to be paid in cash.
She got paid. That is still the craziest thing. Aretha Franklin, until the day she stopped performing, folks, got paid in cold, hard cash in her hand.
And I don't blame her. I do not blame her.
Checks bounce. Don't write me no check that you have to sign. It better be a cashier's check from a bank I know.
Or something.
Right.
Or something. And so yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm glad that we're here and we're going to be watching with you as soon as the circle lights up and they say that they're going live. Hey, you're coming with us. We're all going live. Absolutely. For that amazing performance. And I really think, okay, J Ray, so like, what is there a song in particular from either artist that you're looking forward to them performing?
Oh, that's a great question. I am excited. I'm always excited to hear I Know You, I Live You by Chaka Khan. There is this great, if I find the link, I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat for everybody. There's this great 1981 album release party performance where Chaka is up there singing, her brother's singing background. It's Chaka circa 1981, and she does I Know You, I Live You. And it's a jam. Like, it jams all the way. They got the percussion in the back, no expense spared. So I will look forward to hearing that. From Stephanie, I would love to hear Home.
I'm sure that's going to come.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be in the repertoire.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah. What about you? What are you looking forward to hearing, if anything?
So funny. So I love your selections, and yes, I'm looking forward to those songs being done as well. It's probably not going to come up, but I really love Chaka Khan singing Love Me Still.
Oh my God. Yeah.
From the Clockers soundtrack. No, was it Clockers or?
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was the Clockers soundtrack. And yeah, I still love that song to this day. Stephanie, I'm looking forward to, of course, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel.
Oh yeah. Dope joke.
Because that's just, you know what I'm saying? And because of you, I'm also hoping that she pulls out Medicine.
The Medicine song. Oh, yo, shout out to the folks in the chat. Do you remember? So I think talking about the Medicine song is actually a really interesting thing. So in 1985, Stephanie Mills is at a super interesting point in her career. So she has transitioned out. She was with 20th Century Fox Records. All of the classic joints kind of came from Casablanca and 20th Century Fox. And she's at this interesting point in her career. And the reason why this song, I never told you this. The reason why I remember this song so much was, do you remember those K-Tel
The collections.
compilations? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that song came out and became a hit for Stephanie Mills. It became a #1 dance hit for Stephanie Mills. The Medicine Song in 1985. It's a synthy, funky, slanky song where she's in Mama's Gonna Give You a Little Medicine.
Listen, y'all, if you haven't seen the video, she's doing a good old 8 count. You know, she's giving you some boom cacks, and you know, there's slinky costumes and whatnot. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I definitely can see this working for Stephanie.
It did.
But the 80s was such to me, such a vibrant time. Like, I love the 80s. I know people look back with some, you know, a little dubiousness to the 80s, but I loved it. And because back in the 80s, that's the only era where you could have seen a person, a rock, pop, funk, soul goddess on Miami Vice, on an episode of Miami Vice, kind of playing herself,
Right.
and she was a damsel in distress, and Chaka had some acting chops. I was like, wait a minute, does anybody else remember Chaka Khan was in an episode of Miami Vice? Mark my words, look it up.
It's great.
You will enjoy it. It's Miami Vice. Big shoulder pads, pastels. What is there not to love?
Right. So I mean, you couldn't get those. You're absolutely right. You really couldn't get that wasn't going to happen in another era. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't going to happen in another era. And the 80s produced such amazing creatives. There was a lot of folks who were, you know, of course, bands were still a thing in the 1980s. And we have a special guest. And I can say this. They just popped in the green room. We got a special guest. They getting all set up in the green room. They can hear us.
Okay. They can hear us. Okay.
They can hear us.
I'm excited.
But
I'm
yes.
excited because tonight our special guest is definitely a connoisseur of vocals and vocalists, and you know, definitely knows what they're talking about when it comes to big voices and people that can sing.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to them showing up because I know that they're itching to talk about Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. Because I also want to touch on, we touched on it briefly, but I also want to touch on how Chaka and Stephanie have impacted hip hop.
Please, let's have that conversation. That is such an important conversation to have. Let's talk about that. Before we bring our guest on, let's have that conversation.
Oh, you want to do that now? Okay,
yeah, let's do that now.
So hip hop, the hip hop generation, absolutely loves Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills because they both impacted hip hop in several ways. Let's just take Chaka Khan, for instance.
Yes.
Like I told you all, the very first song that I clearly recall being smitten with by Chaka Khan was her cover of Prince's I Feel For You, and which was first of all, the aesthetic of the video was very gritty, street, graffiti, pop lock dancers, very, you know, it was very baggy clothes, and the aesthetic of the burgeoning scene of the hip hop culture was what Chaka Khan was giving. And at the beginning of the record, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, and then this rap proceeds, and it's a fiery rap. They never show the person, but it's a godfather of hip hop. Melly Mel is delivering that rhyme for Chaka Khan. I believe it's one of Chaka Khan's biggest hits.
Absolutely,
hands down. And Melly Mel is delivering one of the godfathers of hip hop. Is truly delivering one of the best verses of hip hop and R&B pop collaboration, and probably one of the very first, right?
No, yeah, that is one of the very first times that we get an opportunity to or at least on the big, well, first of all, they didn't play the rap part on the R&B channels because you couldn't do that back then. But that is the first time where I'm sure for Melly Mel, this was like, wait, I get to be on a record with Chaka Khan. What in the world is and a Prince written tune?
Yeah.
How nutty is that?
I wonder how he felt about not being in the video.
You know, I'm sure that was, I would imagine, I've never heard him talk about it, but I would imagine that it was probably one of those things you get over, I would imagine. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I'm sure he would have liked to have been in the video. But, you know, you couldn't really, here's the thing. Back then, you couldn't really there wasn't a way to do that then.
Because it was hard enough getting black videos played on MTV. So I'm sure they had to like really parcel out what was going to be in in R&B videos if they were even going to play it on MTV.
Right. If they were even going to play it on, you know, MTV and all of that. But I Feel For You becomes one of those tunes. And then, of course, Chaka goes on to have an amazing career working with other MCs. You know, she plays part in Jazz Mataz Volume 2. And is on there with Guru and, you know, the De La Soul stuff. It ain't all good.
No good. That was on my list. It was like that. I think that's one of their biggest joints.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many people can say they got Chaka Khan singing their hook? And then I think one of the most impactful, presence of Chaka Khan in hip hop was when she gave Kanye the blessing to clear the sample for Through the Fire for his debut smash hit, Through the Wire.
Right.
Now that was huge. That was a huge, and to this day he says that he gave her thanks in the video, and to this day he says that song really put him on the map.
Absolutely. Now here's the funny thing though. So here's the funny thing about that, and I'm sure you know this, Sir Daniel, but she was not happy with the outcome of the way because so one of the things that Kanye did obviously was he, you know, changed her voice up, a little bit and did the thing. Yeah. Chaka wasn't pleased with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause he was the king of like speeding up samples, R&B samples, and speeding them up and, letting them play. So that was his thing on early Kanye records.
Yep.
But yeah, she was like, to this day, she's like, you know, it's cool. Good for him. I'm glad I could help him out.
Right. but nah, right. You know, but you know, in terms of hip hop, we have two joints. Do we want to play the joints now? Do we want to do that?
So let's do this. So we talk about Chaka being sampled a lot. Well, Stephanie Mills, she's been sampled a lot by a lot of artists as well, including the Black Eyed Peas and DMX. But where she really shines, where Stephanie Mills stands out in hip hop, is with hip hop DJs. Mm-hmm. Hip hop DJs love pairing Stephanie Mills with a break beat. And we're about to show you this joint. The master of doing this, of course,
come on.
Is none other than Kid Capri. And Kid Capri has been doing this since the 90s, and he had an opportunity to get Stephanie Mills on stage with him, and here's the outcome.
Let's see where we at, man. Nigga with the headphones. I'm nervous. Everybody get your phones out.
I love how Stephanie is giving I'm ready. So
this is the speed. This is the speed. You about to see this for the first time live. First time ever. We don't even know how it's going to come out. If it comes out with a mistake, who cares? You're doing it. All right, we're going to start from I've been up, right? You started first. I've been up and I've been down. Can't put my feet on. That's crazy. That's it. I'm good.
Yo.
That's wild. Like Mama knew when to like flex a little bit when he dropped the beat. And if you've ever had a Kid Capri mixtape, a Ron G mixtape, you've heard these blends, and it's just something magical to hear something so like a classic R&B record or R&B singer singing and flowing over a hard edge breakbeat. We all love Impeach the President, so that's what breakbeat that is. And Kid Capri is dope. But Johnny, you know where I'm going with this. J. Ray, my favorite rendition of Stephanie Mills' Something About the Way You Make Me Feel was done by DJ JC, which is a crazy rendition because we weren't expecting this.
Something in the way you make me feel. There's no need to be. Something in the way you make me feel.
That's it.
And it makes me feel real good.
Make it happen.
I've been up and I've been down.
Yo.
Will you help me put my feet on solid ground? I've been rich and I've been poor. Then you showed me that there's so much more than the rat race and the fast pace could ever offer me. When I look back, baby, you've always been there for me. Something in the way you make me feel. Ain't no doubt about it. I won't shout about it. I tell you, babe, something in the way you make me feel.
All day.
And it makes me feel real good.
Yo.
Yo, listen. A dope DJ like JC, who everybody knows is out of this world, knows how to doing blends, especially if you do it on the fly,
Yeah.
takes a lot of concentration, takes a lot of thought, and a good ear. So what you heard Stephanie Mills singing over there, of course, was the Mobb Deep song "Temperatures Rising," which was produced by none other than the abstract Q-Tip himself. So it had everything you need: a nasty kick,
Right.
a nasty snare, all of that. But then it just fit perfectly over that record. So shout out to JC for a killer mix. And, again, this is the impact that these women have on us hip hop generation people.
Absolutely. So we get to bring in our guest now, right?
Oh, the special guest is ready?
The special guest is ready.
Okay, was everything okay in their waiting room? Their rider was
I think so. I think their
fulfilled?
writer was
Okay.
good. We had the right Skittles and all of that
Okay,
shit.
okay.
So I think we
'Cause
good.
Because this is R&B royalty here. This
Literally, y'all.
This is a super. Let me tell you something. This man has written your favorites
Right.
smash hit record.
Yep.
Mark my words. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you and bring to others the one and only singer, songwriter, entertainer, the man himself. We call him Uncle Kip, but you better call him by his full name, Kipper Jones. And put some respect on that. Welcome to the show, Uncle Kipper.
Can we hear you?
Can we hear you?
What are these green M&Ms?
See?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I am weller than well. What is up, brethren? I'm great.
Awesome.
I am great.
Awesome.
We are awesome. About to enjoy
Yeah,
this.
I was moving off that Kid Capri joint.
Oh, yeah. And we're getting a slight delay. So what we're going to do, y'all, is we're going to bring Kipper back in. And I want to make sure, because I want to make sure his sound is crisp. So give us a second while we fix that. So me and Sir Daniel are here. We're going to come and we're going to bring Kipper back in real quick. But go ahead.
So here's the thing. the thing about Uncle Kipper Jones is, he's most famously known, is he is one of those industry insiders that you probably don't know that he has penned a lot of your favorite songs, and has actually given a lot of the greatest artists that you know of their biggest hits.
Absolutely.
A young lady, you may have heard of her. Her debut, she was 15 years old when her debut album came out. She had a little song that did okay. Even had a remix with three of the top female MCs at the time. She did
You
a
might
little
have heard
something.
you might have heard a little something about it.
You may have heard of. I think, what was her name again? Was it Brandy?
I think her name was like Brandy.
Brandy or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the caliber of work that Mr. Jones is known for. And again, like I said, he is an industry professional, and we cannot wait to hear about his connections to both of these women that we are going to be blessed to hear later on this evening on this Verzuz. And I just want to make sure that
Yeah, I think we could do it. I think we're gonna try it. I think we're gonna try it. So
Okay.
we're gonna bring back the Kipper Jones. Kipper.
I'm back.
There we go.
I think we still got a little delay, but I'm back.
We can hear you. You are good. You are so crispy on our end.
Good.
So Kipper, first and foremost, like, what was your gut reaction when you saw the announcement for Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills Verzuz?
It's funny because like some of them, you see them and you go, whatever. It kind of goes like, but I got a little skin in the game in this one.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Brandy Monica one. I mean, it was like not only unavoidable, but again, I had a horse in that race. So
Right.
this I don't. I love my baby. I would call her a horse, but I'm just saying, I got some skin in the game. So it's just, it just meant a little more to me. And then I said, Chaka and Stephanie. There are things that I know about each of them that are just so absolutely superlative that I was like, okay, I see how that could be a thing, because Chaka got like decades and decades upon decades of smash
hit albums
in all kinds of genre with all kinds of writers and producers, and I've been blessed to be among that number. But that little dynamo Stephanie Mills,
man,
is
not to be played with.
Thank you for showing those clips that you just showed. Because the video and the clip with Kid Capri. I saw another clip of her a couple of summers ago, I think it was, and her sound went out. She was on stage, she was performing, she just had two background singer guys. It was a track date, but I guess the DJ's stuff went out or whoever, and she said, "So what?" and proceeded to smash a cappella.
Wow.
Singing, never knew love like this before. Now I'm lonely, nevermore. Killed it. Audience took over the backgrounds. The people took over. It was smash. So what she just did, and you saw her standing there with Capri. She like, okay, just tell me when.
Right.
just drop the beat and I'll hop in.
I'm good.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that about the audience taking over.
Yes.
I've been at an Anita Baker concert, I think her farewell concert on Mother's Day. I mean, she barely had to sing throughout the whole show.
Right.
Tell me that's not the mark.
That's the mark, baby.
Not even excellent. I don't even think excellent is enough to cover the what type of gift they have. and what type of material that they have.
I don't know what you call that. It's just iconic. I think is underserving as well. But it is. I tell you, Adrian, I did when Brandy was here for her BMI President's Award a couple of years ago. They invited me to come, and I was honored to be there anyway, and I got to meet LaShawn Daniels that night. God rest his soul, which is a great thing. But as Ray J introduced her, and she took to the stage, she walked up from the front row and walked up the steps to the stage, and they played right. And so then by the time she gets to the mic, the verse starts. I would like to get to know it. She didn't sing a word. The entire audience just took over, and she just it kind of took her breath, but for me, it literally just it almost took me to my knees. It took me back to the room with Rasan and Kenneth and I when I was writing the song, and Keith and I, and well, we were all there, but we were all in this room and I was writing the song. I mean, it took me right back to that place. And
when you
I
say
was standing,
when you say Rashawn, you're referring to Rashawn Patterson, correct?
Rashawn Patterson, yes.
Yep.
Yes, my brother Rashawn.
You see how
be
Kipper,
just dropping
drops names like, oh, just somebody named Rashawn Patterson. Which is evidence of all the work. The studio sessions are probably what is the most magical thing that we, the audience, we're just not privy to. We don't get to see that. And I'm certain, like, I can only imagine what sitting in on a session with a Chaka or a Stephanie Mills is like.
Wow. I'm telling you, it, like I said, we did the Brandy record and, what happened after that. But then the phone starts ringing, so people start calling him. And at that time, CK was working on Chaka was working on, they were doing the Greatest Hits record.
Right.
Yeah.
And because I think it was going to be her final record for Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And so then they ended up saying, well, they were working on another record at the time. So they said, let's take those songs, put them with the Greatest Hits record, call it one thing, and be done with it.
Right.
So our song was one of the new records for this new piece. But when they called and he said, hey, man, you want to do this Chaka thing? I'm like, boy, you ain't said nothing but a word. Because, there's some of us who I call Chaka's bastard sons.
Right.
Yes, we are. We are out here. It is myself, Rasan, definitely. And then there's Kenny Lattimore, Eric Benet. There's a bunch of us. B. Slade, Michael Kilgore, whom I adore. But there's a bunch of us who we long after her. So Kevin Bryant, God bless me, I didn't mean to leave him out, and Cleveland Jones, he's also. They may be watching. I don't want to leave nobody out.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of us who just absolutely adore her. So when he said that, and I put on my best Chaka ears, and I wrote, to this track that he gave me, him and Roy Pennon did. I mean, that track
the
was
funkiest thing.
Oh,
that thing's so funky, Jesus.
Good Jesus. And so I had to go straight old Rufus Chaka.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but to hear her in the studio give it back.
Just walk us through it. Just walk us through that just a little bit. Like, is she a lights on or lights really dim type of vocalist?
Well, you know what? I'm
gonna
tell you this. I wasn't in there for most of the night. I only came in at the climax moment. This girl, this powerful instrument of hers. So you mic a singer. There's a microphone. I'll turn this way so that people can kind of get it. But there's better yet, I have a microphone.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course you do.
Yes.
It came out of the eyeball. So, and so you mic a singer and they're like here.
Mhm.
Well, this girl's power just kept bleeding the meters. And I mean, you can't turn it down because you got to get it. So you
Right.
can't keep turning it down. And she was just like, oh, no, I got it. So she goes,
Where she went across the
I'm gonna sit from over there.
and just hollered for the gods in the back of the room. And so when you hear, and something deep, that high thing, that's where she was. She was on the other side of the microphone, damn near out of the room.
And that's why,
man, just incredible.
and that's why, when you go and you pay your good money to see these women live, it doesn't matter if you're in a nosebleed seat. It's gonna sound like she's sitting right next to you.
Yep.
Not with them. See, them chicks, man, they come from a whole nother school. And let me just say this, and this is not to slight the ladies that are on the landscape right now. But the women that I came in the industry with, or shortly after, or that kind of thing, the Mickey Howards and Vesta Williams and Chakas of the world.
Ooh, Vesta.
Man, these girls came for blood. They came to sing, and they don't need no microphone. If you got one, that's great.
Right.
But if you don't, that's fine too, because we're not here for that. We here to sing. We're not caring. I remember Gerald Levert said to me one time, he was like, Kipper, you know why I like you? Because you don't need all these smoke machines and all that. Yeah, all you need is a microphone. I was like,
but that's where you came up. You came up having to do that.
You had to do that which you said you did. If you said you were
flat-footed and sing,
if you were a singer, then you can't. You gonna have to come in here and sing. These Glenn Joneses and these people, they're here to sing. Understand me? They're not here to play with you people. People probably think, okay, he's a good-looking guy, but he ain't come to look good. Jeffrey Osborne comes to sing, people. Lenny Williams, these people come to sing. They are not fooling with you. So, that's where we come from. They didn't need all of that. And now there's a lot of studio tricks. There's a lot of live tricks. There's a lot of trickery. You ain't gonna hear no trickery tonight, fellas. It's with these two.
They gonna say
ain't no trick.
It's gonna be the real thing. And you ran down a list of names, and Teddy Pendergrass, I'm sure, is in that is in that number. And you have a powerhouse. You have a powerhouse like Teddy Pendergrass, and Stephanie Mills is going head up with him.
Yep.
And there's no backing down. So it's like those duets. It's like we don't get those duets anymore. Like a Stephanie and a Teddy and Chaka and anybody.
No power. I mean, you get a beautiful duet like a Brandy and Daniel Caesar, or these records that you hear, and they're beautiful, but ain't no power. And I'm not saying but. Let me not say but. I would like to hear something with that same vigor and power, and there just isn't a lot of that now. We say that about gospel music too. I mean, gospel music now is R&B music anyway.
Right.
And they ain't got no oil, Kipper. They ain't got no oil.
They ain't got no
They
oil.
don't got oil. They don't oil. They need oil.
I'm trying to say to the people that they ain't got no oil is what I'm saying, Danny. You hear me?
They ain't got no oil. That's what it is.
That's it.
Now,
I was trying to be nice.
So one of the questions that I was going to ask you, Kipper, is like, who are the daughters of Chaka and Stephanie? Because I mean, who is carrying that mantle? Because I think we got a few. I think people so hear me out. Okay. People always want to lump Fantasia and Patty, or Fantasia and Aretha, but I hear a lot of Tasia and Stephanie. Am I the only one here?
No, I don't think you are. Fantasia is
Fantasia is Fantasia.
She's Fantasia, and she's also a student of Stephanie and Chaka and Aretha, and
she's a student of the era.
She absolutely is.
So I mean everything from Natalie Cole and Aretha to I think Fantasia even has some of the stuff she don't know she has, like Dinah Washington,
and Sarah Vaughan. Yes.
Uh-huh. I think some of the stuff she's not even aware. I mean, I don't know, she may be, but I think that maybe she doesn't even know. So she's just soaked it all up, and it's all in there, and it comes out as Fantasia. So yeah, I would say Stephanie's in there too.
Legacy knows what she got.
Oh, let us know.
Indeed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Who? Again, man, this era doesn't speak to that kind of in a mass appeal sense. Let me say that, because I'm sure there are independent artists out there who are wearing it out. If you hear my voice, send me your stuff, because I want to hear you, baby. Because we're hard to find sometimes in this new atmosphere, where you have to shop your own music basically and be your own music business and your own promotion team. So, I get that, but I'm sure there are some voices out there. The landscape as we see it on a mass appeal level doesn't display that, though, to me.
So Kipper, this is actually a good time for you. I mean, you're always busy. This is a good time to talk about You Belong to Me and what the Black Betties are doing.
Stop reading my mind, J. Ray. Stop reading my mind. Go ahead.
Kipper, tell us about. You just wrote this smash, y'all. If y'all ain't heard it, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. This smash of a song. Tell us, how that song came to be, and the Black Betties, and also what that song, the feeling that y'all were going for with that song as well.
Yeah. So the Betties are a duo from here in Atlanta, in Decatur, Georgia. Cherie and Sharita Murphy. They are called the Black Betties. So right before the pandemic started, the ladies came to me and they said, Uncle Kipper, we got this idea for this song. It's just, you belong to me. You belong to me, babe. That's what they had. And I was like, that's kind of dope. Very, very cool. Okay, yeah. But then they took the idea and they went to Rodney Edge, who's a super producer, musician here in town. And he put this track together. And when I got the track, I was like, oh snap. Okay, so that's what y'all trying to do. Okay. Because they said, it's kind of like Aretha Franklin, and they got the Aretha Franklin movies coming out, and we kind of wanted to kind of maybe do something in line with that. So when I heard the track, I was like, oh yeah, he has done just that. And so the ladies were like, okay, we'll get together in a couple of days and write the lyrics. And I was like, okay. And then when we got together in a couple of days, I gave them the lyrics. Pretty much. So and they were like, okay. And so we recorded it. Interesting, because we've been working together live. They sing background with my band. I've been featured on their shows, and I mean, we just absolutely love each other, and it's a great relationship. But we hadn't worked together in the studio, though, and I don't know if your audience really is aware, but singing live and singing in the studio are two diametrically opposed things. They are not the same thing.
Because one, you are like, it's about control, because you have to capture things a certain way, and whereas live, it's gonna happen, it's gonna come out how it's coming out.
Yeah, live is all about what it looks like, how it, what I mean, all that kind of. It's about the presentation, the visual presentation, even more so, and then projecting it. See, if you're in the studio, there are some moments that are very quiet. There's some moments that and you have to do a dynamic thing. You know what I mean? It can go from a whisper to a scream and all of that kind of stuff. But when you're live, I got to hear you in that back row in the top section at the Staples Center. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a whole different dynamic. But so the ladies were like, okay, well, we'll record our vocals, because that's what everybody did. We recorded the song during the pandemic, so we were at shelter in place. So all the musicians cut their stuff at home. Wow. Jay Fly cut his drums at home. Trey cut his bass at home. Ethan and Rodney and Justin Gilbert and the horns, everybody cut their stuff at home. I cut my vocals right here on my chaotic album. And so when we sent everything to the engineer to mix it, but the girls recorded their vocals and sent them to me, and I said, okay, would you mind if we get together? I know we're in shelter in place. I'll wear a mask. I'll do whatever I have to do, but kind of be in the same room, kind of let's try that
Mhm.
approach. First of all, as again, the records I've written for Vanessa Williams, the things I've written for Brandy, if I'm writing a song for you, I kind of need to be in there with you.
Because you got to feel people. It's an energy. Songwriters and vocalists, you have to exchange energy in order to
Yeah.
get the best out of each other, right?
Yeah, to get that performance, to get that delivery, I got to get in. I got to get in here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I got to get in your head. I may have to go here too, but if I can get in here, we can pull this off. You know what I mean? And so I asked the girls if I could come by and we could sit and we could do this. And man, when we got done with that, they were like, I see what you did there. You know what I mean? Because it's just that thing. It took it to a whole nother level. And man, we've got an incredible record. And I'm so excited.
Tell the people where they can find it. Tell the people where they can find it.
You can go to bandcamp.com and go and look for the Black Betties.
There's a link in the chat too.
It's in the chat, yes. The letter U, belong, and the number 2, me. You belong to me. And it's also at all your streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You know, you can stream it, or you can go to the Bandcamp site and support us in this Herculean effort of self-promotion.
Right.
You are your record business in this new record business. So that's how that works. So if you go to the Bandcamp site, you can download the record. You can download it for free if that's what you want to do, or you can download it for $1 if you want to pay $1, or you can download it for $10, or you can download it for $100 if you believe in these people and you think they need to be doing something with what they're doing. So that's kind of how that works as well. But listen, you're going to love the song. I guarantee. If you don't like this song, inbox me. I am Uncle Kipper. Inbox me and I will give you your little $1 back.
All right. Oh. So
My
it looks
bad.
like
We getting ready.
So it looks like it's getting ready to get started. And first, the stage is beautiful. We see Diddy Ciroc all over the place. So thank you, Diddy, for the coins. You know what I'm saying? I think. Listen, it has to be done in this era in order to make sure that these women are given their just due. I mean, Uncle Kipper, like he was just talking about how technology in the midst of the pandemic has turned our inventiveness up, and as well as our creativity, because the creativity does not stop even through a pandemic. Verzuz is a prime example of that.
Yes.
Like this came out of the pandemic, you know, and now here we are. We're on huge stages with a lot of the icons and legends that, you know, intergenerational fans can get to take part and find out. Again, last week we said this, J. Ray. Our young people have to get curious about these foundations that were set.
Absolutely, man.
And it's up to us to bring it to them too and say, hey, listen, young blood, or you know, whatever we want to call them. This is such and such and such and such, and here's what they did. I'm going to put you up on this. We are responsible for that.
We are. And I mean, just like thinking, don't take for granted for those folks who are listening to this show and be like, oh, that man Kipper Jones spits a lot of knowledge. Know who Kipper Jones is. Because
please do your research.
You have to do your research because, and Kipper, I'm going to just dote on you for a minute. We talk about this a lot. You are so instrumental in so many points in contemporary music, black music, particularly contemporary black music. So folks need to know who you are.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rock. It's been here forever.
But listen, we absolutely need to know who Kipper is, and we know who Chaka and Stephanie is, but we need to make sure that everybody comes after us knows who all these people are. I asked J. Ray earlier.
Can I cut you right there? But you said something. You said we know who Stephanie and Chaka are, but we know.
Yeah.
But I bet you outside of our circle, you can ask somebody who Stephanie Mills is, and they probably don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
shame.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why Q Points is here, because we
Yes.
need all of y'all. We need all of y'all to know who these people are. And I asked J Ray earlier what he's looking forward to. Kipper, do you have a particular song from either artist or both artists that you're particularly waiting to see them just kill on the stage right tonight?
Well, you know, I'd just be like pleased as punch if I heard the song I wrote.
Listen, if she do Something Deep, Something Deep, y'all, real quick. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Kipper Jones wrote that joint in that. So when I gotta tell a story. So Kipper will remember this. So when I was introduced to Kipper by our brother Jay. Shout out to Jay. We all know who Jay is. Is an amazing, amazing, amazing spirit. Jay Torrance. And so I go to sit and have lunch with Kipper, and we're talking about all the stuff that he's worked on. I was like, oh my God, he's worked on so much. And of course, I sang Firestarter because I love that song. And then I realized, and then you had talked about, I believe, Something Deep, and I had just played it. Like, I was like, that's like in my top 5 of all Chaka songs. And Chaka got a lot of songs, but Something Deep is in my top 5. And Kipper Jones, that man who's right there, who I get to work with every day,
Wrote the hell out of that song.
wrote the hell out of that song. That joint is so funky, though.
It's so funny. When I gave her the demo and she heard the demo and everything, she got back. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's me. That's so me." I was like, "I know you better than you do. I will crawl in your head, woman."
And like both of them have worked with the greats. They've worked with Ashford and Simpson. They've worked with Ahmet. Give me the name.
No, Arif
Mardin. James Mtume and Reggie Lucas, and that's with Stephanie. And
yes, and it's just amazing. That's the importance of singer-songwriters and these relationships with them. It's so important. Without people like a Kipper, like we said earlier, he needs to get into their minds and sometimes their hearts. So I think we need to do, I don't know, maybe there needs to be a Q Points writers workshop.
Ooh, I like it.
Me too.
I like it.
Because y'all, you know, y'all say you got a good pen game.
Right.
But
when Kipper
is Q Points and Kipper will make you step your pen game up even further. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And I also we mentioned the name earlier, and I cannot go past this name because there was a point when people thought that these voices were both synonymous with Chaka, and that was Vesta.
Ooh.
And you talk about somebody that sang for blood. Oh man.
So Kipper, you knew Vesta. She was a powerhouse. Isn't there a crazy YouTube video with you and Vesta too? Like there's a whole thing.
There is a crazy video with me and Vesta. Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna find that, put that in the chat. Oh my God. So no, but Vesta was from Coshocton, Ohio. And she came to LA and just kind of set the town on fire with this big ass voice. It was just like, whoa. And so she got a deal at A&M. John McClain had signed her, and that's where she was doing all her records over there. And my band Tease, we did a lot of, dates with her and stuff. And so since I was the lead singer in my band, and I did backgrounds with her a lot. But she was an amazing performer. Funny when I tell you that girl.
Oh my God. Hilarious. I remember she kept Donnie Simpson in tears whenever she was on the Video Soul. She was a mess.
Yeah. They were gonna hire her to cover for him whenever he was there, because she took over the show.
Right.
She was she was that combination is kind of a rare combination of somebody who can sing but actually have a personality.
Right.
Yeah.
And she had both. And to me, and I know this was a commercial, but I will never forget the way Vesta and Al Jarreau carried on about a Big Mac. The two all beef patty.
They sang about that burger, didn't they?
Didn't they carry on about that special sauce, lettuce, cheese? They carried. Oh my god.
Yeah, they did.
But she couldn't do anything less than that, because that was true to her voice and to her spirit.
Yeah, that's who she was, man. Now, to that point, though, I will say this: there are certain singers like Mickey Howard, like Vesta, like Allison Williams, like all of those girls from that era and that kind of thing. And then I look at, some of the singers that are here now, like Rihanna and Beyonce, and these girls who have made literally billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Literally billions of dollars. And Vesta was my dear friend. Try not to cry. And to see, her talent never diminished. It's just that her thing kind of went out of style for a minute. And you got to be able to either ride the wave or get taken out by it. And, so what bothers me a bit, though, you guys, is just the fact that these girls see this enormous success, these billions of dollars, and these women who who paved the way for them, who kicked down doors for them, who took ass whoopings for them, all that kind of stuff. They die broke?
Right. That can't be.
It just can't be. It's like, you should almost have to pay an entry fee. You didn't have to do the club chitlin circuit, doing these clubs with men crawling up your stuff on weekends. And the reason why I'm talking like this is because I know, because I did dates with Mickey, I did dates with Vesta, and I saw it. I saw how people treated them, and I saw the stuff that they had to put up with and deal with and go through. And then I see these girls, it's almost like they should have to pay an entry fee. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do with their money. I just don't like to see the pioneers die broke.
Absolutely. We absolutely feel you on that. If you go back in the archives of our episodes, we talk about that every single time, about how these people need to be compensated for the blood, sweat, and tears that they left on these studio floors and on these stages. It's ridiculous. But look at this set. The set is beautiful. It looks like it's a full house. Somebody's making money off of their legacies. Off of their legacies. And it's just wild. I think I'm looking at some of the comments, and there's a DJ. There might be two DJs spinning live, and I'm wondering, it doesn't look like they're catering to the audience. People are like, DJ, where's the R&B? We don't need to be hitting the head with this Jadakiss right now. We're about to see Chaka